this week on the podcast, me and Ben got stuck into the starting line, or Ben got stuck into the starting line. I got you get stuck into chat pile? I don't know. I got stuck in chat pile. It's probably the best way of describing it. And we probably, had two of the most clashy bands ever in terms of comparison. We went from happy to very, very dark places. It's not even the band, so it's just our conversation. We spoke about the 2000 Trees lineup, touched a little bit on We Were Young, and then I filled Ben in on going to see Story So Far and Angel Dust. Check it out. Jump straight in, Ben.
Yes.
I asked you to listen to the starting line.
Yeah.
Actually, just first one. You asked me to listen to Chat Pile. I'm going to ruin that already for like what's coming up. And I asked you to listen to the starting line, which on hindsight, I think I texted you and said these are the two most opposite bands we could have picked, which is why I think when this podcast wins a podcast award, which inevitably will because it is absolute gold, it'll be for moments like this, I think.
I don't think it gets more different, does it?
No. They're the complete opposites.
Yeah, incredible.
So go on, hit me with the starting line.
So the starting line, say it like you mean it. That was the one.
What a great emo-y pop punk title for an album.
It is a good title, isn't it? Good band name as well. Straight in, starting line. That's solid. 2002 it came out on Geffen, debut album on Geffen. That's pretty big. Fair play.
It's big, isn't it?
They were this was like the perfect album for this because listening to it, I was like, I definitely hated them back in the day, 100%, and I have no idea why. Like listening to it now, it's weird, isn't it? Because back then, I think I thought they were like miles away from what I liked and didn't do the thing I liked about like pop punk or emo or whatever. But listening to it now, I'm like, there's no difference really to what they were doing to what I liked. It's just those weird,
just snobbery.
Yeah, 100%. Like elitism, snobbery. It's like, just for whatever reason, they didn't.
I used to see one picture of a band or one haircut and be like, nah.
Yeah, 100%.
Or whatever. Like, just so like.
It's ridiculous. Because there's every chance I never heard them. Like, I didn't really recognise any of this. So, I mean, it's ludicrous. I think it's weird, like, when you're a kid, especially, and you're first getting into that stuff, those little, like, those gaps in what you like and what you don't like are like chasms when you're a kid. Like, they're so huge. Whereas this, like I say, it just sounded like all the stuff I liked back then. I don't really see why I would have dismissed it, other than being a dickhead. Which is what this is all about. So I mean, it was really fun, man. I really liked it. Too long, I would say. 13 songs.
Yeah. I mean, you keep giving me albums that aren't even albums that are 7 songs long. So at least I gave you a full LP, shall we say?
Yeah,
a long play, very much a long
they're
play.
Always too long.
Yeah,
I think 12 tops.
11. Oh, I was going to say 11.
12.
11's good.
Lovely, and they definitely could have trimmed it. Like as much as I enjoyed it, I'm sure there's some chuff on it.
Oh yeah,
like I listened to it a couple of times, and there's some bangers. But he definitely could have cut it down, boys, easily. But it's really fun.
You listened to it a couple of times though.
Yeah, I actually did, So it's good. I think a song made it onto the playlist. I can't remember which one now. Was it Up and Go, maybe?
Oh, Up and Go is just absolutely the most... It's just such a lovely, happy song, isn't it?
Oh,
like so joyous.
Such a laugh. How could I have not liked this? Just a miserable little song.
I was thinking of giving you that in the depths of November. Well, it probably weren't November, October, because we're so bad at filming this that I probably gave it to you in August.
Yeah.
To listen to. When I was thinking if we drive along in the car, with the window open. I'm sure you haven't got a wind down window. I don't know why I did that.
I'm doing all right, mate. I've got lecky windows.
Have you? I thought you were doing all right.
Well, man, don't worry about me
for this yet. Yeah, no. No, I thought it's quite a summary one actually on hindsight. But Up and Go is such a literally like perfect title for the song and how it sounds.
Really fun. Like there's a few I wrote down, like Best of Me is really fun. There's some good riffs as well, like Given the Chance, really good pop punk riff. Fair play. It shows it was such a mad time, like debut albums like this coming out on Geffen. And I think they've done some stuff on drive-through as well. But like
Yeah.
going straight to Geffen is just massive. I had in my head, I was like, they were definitely. I don't think I had a specific, but I was like, they must have been in some films around that time, like possibly literally in them, because that was just such a thing in the early noughties where they'd
Oh
just
yeah, being
be,
an American Pie or whatever.
yeah,
Like yeah,
like just performing at the
yeah,
prom or something. And I googled it, and they were in
yeah. Oh,
one of them
were
songs
they?
was in "She's the Man," and I was
Oh,
like, that's
nice.
exactly the film I was thinking of. Like I didn't even know that, but I was like, yes, it had to be an Amanda Byrne film
That's mad. Like
because
imagine
she's so
I
early
never.
noughties.
You're going to tell me it's your new favorite album, and I know that She's the Man is one of your all-time favorite films as well. So
I
that's
think "She's the
seminal.
Man" is, I think, really problematic. I don't think I've seen it.
What these days now?
Yeah, I just got a feeling it's
Yeah,
problematic.
yeah. No, I got a feeling that would be there'd be red flags all over that
Yeah,
nowadays.
100%. Which I don't think you could say about the starting line, as far as I could tell.
No, no. I think they're clean.
Yeah, I went on the
They played.
Wikipedia page.
I tell you what is worth listening to as a side note, but the bassist, who's a singer, which I know you're probably already going to have well, I have a problem with sometimes. I find it
Mm,
uncomfortable when the bassists,
yeah.
you were like, should they have a singer? Should their guitarist sing? But he did another band called Reliant K.
Oh, I remember them.
Um, they were quite good, quite riffy. I don't know, a bit rocky, a bit Dinosaur
Yeah.
Jr. kind of thing. They're quite good. They're worth listening to as well.
Oh, yeah, that rings a bell. I've got a
Yeah, they
weird. I
played like
don't want to Google this now. I've got a weird feeling they were on the same record label as us. I
Reliant
think that's
K.
why it rings a bell.
Oh,
Yeah.
they were. I think they were on Skylar.
I
Was
don't
it
get to
Skylar?
drop bombs very often, so I'm just gonna drop that one and move on.
I didn't tee this up so Ben could say that it was on the same label as Reliant K once, but there
I'm
we
not
go.
even gonna fact check it. Just gonna say
I'd
it.
just take it.
Move on. Probably not true.
I'm I'm googling it in the background.
I like the fact it's
Reliant
really
K
unimpressive. It's the
record
double
label.
whammy of a really unimpressive claim and possibly not true.
Uh, I'm in the Wikipedia.
Incredible.
I can't see it. Maybe they had some weird thing. I seem to remember where, like, I think Skylar released it in the UK or something weird like
Yeah,
that.
it
Do you know
might
what I
just
mean? It
been that.
wasn't like they just dropped it for them in the UK for some weird reason. I can't remember
Yeah.
why. But
Let's just
but yeah,
go
I
with.
think you have got a good claim to fame there. I do
I'm
think
not
that
a
it's
liar,
legit. I think I think it's grounded in some sort of
is what
fact
you're saying.
somewhere. Yeah, not folklore. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, what else? Like, there's quite a lot of blinkishness, which I sort of
Mm.
wasn't. I don't know why I wasn't expecting. I thought it would be more New Found Glory. Not that there's a massive
Yeah, I think
gap
there's
between
flashes
these
of
things.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lot more Blink than I was expecting. I think also because I don't think of Blink as like an ancient band, and I know that's my age.
Mm.
So I would always think about Blink of like being contemporaries with bands like this, but actually
Hmm.
they probably like would have been an influence, I imagine, on the starting line because it was a
Yeah, I
good
would have
few
thought so.
years. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking
Yeah.
about them coming out later, really. I think because I never got into them, maybe, but we've covered them. Yeah, they're an interesting man. They've only had like 3 albums, I think, but they've
Yeah.
been
They had a
around
massive.
pretty consistently.
I think they had a big gap where and the Reliant K came out of. I feel like they weren't doing anything for like 5 6 years, and then Reliant K
Yeah,
were like a band that ended up on, I don't know, Slam Dunk or whatever. Like they were a name that I'd heard and seen around, and like I said, that album, that one of the albums that I can think of was really good. Um, and yeah, and then I feel like they've just come back now, and I know they played when we were young the other day.
oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Very
like
when we were young.
they're all over that, aren't they?
I can't say that. I think I just said when we were
What
young.
next week? Or we're
It's
in
a
the
really
next week's
different
album.
festival. It's quite hard to say, isn't it? When we were
When
young. Well, maybe not.
no, just don't say Will
Um,
Young, and you're fine.
I said it like they would have put it on their own t-shirts, which is something I did want to talk to you about. How many band names they spelt wrong on
Nice,
their t-shirts.
very very topical.
So funny. Like such a funny misspelling as well. It's like one of those comedy things where it's like I don't know, like Korean has been translated into English and it's all just slightly
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Oh, so good. I loved it. I'd be well happy if I was on those
Oh,
bands.
it felt like I mean, I'd want a T-shirt. I feel like
Yeah.
they're gonna go for like money, like at some point, because
Yeah.
you just got there was only like that one day and they were all cocked up, but like all cocked up, they were playing, weren't they? But yeah, no, that sounds like they play at like Camden Festival or something.
Yeah.
UK punk band. But yeah, no, I think it just shines of like when we were young was like a cash in thing for me. I don't know
Oh,
who
yeah.
organises it. I'm just saying what like that they don't know the names of the bands makes me think
Yeah.
like is
Not
this
so
all
much for
just
the
a
love, maybe.
yeah this could be good money like kind of thing. I don't
Mm.
know. Maybe it is some people with like genuine like absolute massive pop punk fans, but yeah,
Yeah,
it
the
felt a
lineup's
bit like
always it's an interesting lineup, isn't it? I feel like they must have people who know their shit. There's always some
mm,
cool stuff like, yeah, the smaller bands
yeah.
they get. The whole
Mhm.
like playing a whole album is interesting. Apparently they're quite hot on that with the bigger bands. And
Oh,
then
what like
like
that's encouraged, like kind of thing.
yeah, like they sort of put it in contracts, I think. There was bands who were like I think there was a band who pulled out. I haven't researched this enough, so this is all gonna be but I'm sure someone pulled out because of it. Because they
Yeah,
told them they had to
I
play an
saw the
album.
lineup for yeah, I saw the lineup for this well next year, sorry, and
Yeah.
Blink were on it, and they specifically had for some reason had decided to put I think where they must like try and enforce this, like you said, they'd put playing songs from and then listed like 6 albums. And I was like, that's all
So
that's their set. Like
yeah,
that's what they're gonna do.
that's
It
how
was like
gigs
from
work,
Enema of
isn't
the
it?
State, take off your pants and jacket, self-titled. I was like, that's probably 90% of their set list. What is the but yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
seem to like
weird.
doing 20 years of this album and 20 it's very clever like nostalgia play. But
Yeah.
yes,
I never really
starting line
got
we're playing anyway.
oh yeah. Yeah, I never really
Hmm.
got the whole album thing. Like personally, if I go and see a band, I sort of want to hear a bit of
You
everything.
want the hits.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it would
yeah.
annoy
Normally.
me. Unless they're like a band you get to see all the time, but that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Like when American
True.
bands come over here and do it, I think that's weird because you're not coming over very often. Like I'd quite like to hear some choice cuts.
I once saw, speaking of, it's just all as our reference, but I once saw Newfound Glory and they were over doing a festival and they came over and they just basically didn't manage to sort out a support band. And they
Yeah.
played at the Astoria in London and they played like, I think they played 49 songs or something mental like that. And this was like before they'd released like Coming Home and like this was probably like 2004, 5 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, if your story was
And
still
they
about.
just were like, we're going to do 2 sets. The first set is all our old stuff, and the second set is like Sticks and Stones onwards. So
Oh,
they
that's
basically
cool.
like played their whole like two like EP and album before, and then next 2 albums like pretty much in their entirety to the point where people were shouting out songs at the end, and they played for like 3.5 hours. It was such a good gig. Like
Yeah.
if you and Glory, it was right
You got to be
up my
really
street.
into
But
them.
yeah, no, they're like one of my favorite. I don't know, pop punk wise band. They're probably up there for me,
Yeah.
like band wise. It's just consistent. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was mad. And yeah, I've never seen anyone else do a whole album. I don't think like 20 years of whatever. No, I don't think I have. Have
No, I
you?
don't think I have actually. I'm going to the Menzingers one in December, which
Oh, what are they playing?
I can't remember. Rented World, I
Rented
think.
World? Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
so. Which with
Any of
them,
those
I
first 3 albums, I'm like,
yeah,
yeah,
and I've actually seen them quite a lot. They seem to come over quite a lot, so I am looking forward to
oh,
that.
so good live.
Yeah, incredible. Like I am excited, and like a smaller venue. I don't know if they've done it intentionally because if
Oh,
they're doing the
nice.
whole album or is it the Underworld, or they're just not as
Oh,
big as I think they are. But
I was at the
that felt
Underworld.
small.
I was at the Underworld on Saturday night. Had a beer.
Oh,
Lovely.
lovely. It's a
Good
great
old
pub, isn't it?
Camden. Yeah, good pub.
Nice.
We've gone so off track
Yeah,
here. Starting
sorry.
line. Ben, just did you like it?
I did
What you
like it.
saying? You did enjoy
Yeah.
it?
No, I really. Do you know what? I really enjoyed it. It's really fun. Bit
Oh,
too long, but
good.
that's fine. That's fine, lads. Don't worry about it. I'm sure Geffen will put in pressure on you to
Yeah,
add some more
fill it up.
Was
Bonus
there
tracks.
like I can't remember. Was there? We did pick these a while ago, and I should have re-listened to it today. Really, is there like a big old ballad on it? I can't remember.
Yeah,
It
like
was
a
like the sort of album where
bit
there
of a
should
like
be.
swan songy kind of like end. Oh, what is the name of that song? It's going to annoy me now. I actually
Yeah, can
listened
I
to
write
it
it down?
again the other day because to be fair, it's one of them songs that albums that I probably put on once every couple of months. Like, just because it's so, I think Up and Go is like such a great opening track to an
such a
album,
big
isn't
song,
it?
man.
Like, it's just so like uplifting.
Yeah,
With the dun, dun, dun. Saddest Girl Story, I think it is.
sounds like a
Which is,
ballad.
I mean, let's get on to the song titles if you want.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
let me get them up
there's
here.
some good ones. Like,
Yeah, like we said, the
I
album
think they're
title's good.
well pop punky, almost there, going nowhere. Decision, Saddest Girl Story is the most emo song title
Yeah, dear
ever.
Lord, that's too far.
The Drama Summer. It's very pop punk emo, isn't it?
Cheek to Cheek. That's nothing.
Yeah. The Best of Me. That's a proper anthem, The Best of Me. If you play that at Slam Dunk, like as a DJ or whatever, like everyone's getting mental.
Oh, is it? Because I was going to say, did they have like a big hit? It felt like they were
Best of
missing
Me.
a big hit. Because I
Best of
didn't
Me.
recognise any of it.
The video for Best of Me looks like something from American Pie or something like that.
Oh,
They're
really?
playing outside like a girl's house or something like that on the street.
Yeah.
And it starts off with that big like, tell me what you thought about, like that, like proper, like it could be Vanessa Carlton, like it's that kind of like, no, but it is, isn't it? It's that kind of like open, making my way downtown. It's got that kind of about it.
Genuinely one of the best songs ever written, I think.
Yeah, so like, I mean, that's what I meant it as a. I didn't mean it as a.
No, I
didn't
know.
mean it as a. I was
Just wanted to clarify.
Compliment, and I'm a massive Vanessa Carlton fan.
Yeah. Before
but
we
yeah,
talk
it
about
is very-
Chat Part, we need to get that out there. We are massive Vanessa Carlton fans.
I don't think you can't not like that song.
Yeah, when I say I'm a big Vanessa Carlton fan, that one.
That one. That's the only one.
Yeah, I don't know any
She
others.
did,
I'm
mate.
sure they're very good. Yeah, what we're talking about? 47 minutes. It's too long.
It is too long. It needs to be a 35-minute album. That
It really does. But it is really fun. Annoyed I was a dick back in the day. I would have loved this. It's stupid. You know, this is why we're here.
we can jump straight into it because we have got loads on the old cheeky agenda today.
Yeah, that's true.
Go on. I give this, actually, for me, it does go on a bit too long. I agree with you. I think you could skip 2 songs off of it and it'd be great. If you took 2 songs off of it, it would be a 9. But it's an 8 for me. This album, I love it though. I listened to it a lot.
Yeah, I think I'd give it a low 7. You know,
No, just none of your weird 5s or 4. What number is it? 7.
I mean, on the record it'll be a 7, but I want it on video. It's a low 7.
Yeah, but what?
It's a 7. Yeah,
A low 7 would be 7.1. Is that what you're saying? But not.
Yeah,
But not, because we're not getting into points. I flat out refuse. In about 5 episodes' time, we're going to be doing points because it's so hard.
it really is, man. I was just looking at the reviews for this, and yeah, there's like what's that? 7 out of 12 from the mag. We can't start going on about that again, but I'm obsessed. But yes, solid album. I'd give it a 7. The album cover is bad for now, good for then, probably.
Yeah, fair.
It looks
Is it just someone sitting on a sofa with a guitar or something?
Yeah, she's on the phone.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's well American Pie. Isn't it?
So early noughties. She looks like
Yeah.
a bit like Julia Stiles. Is that her name? Who was massive in the early noughties as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it is her, but yeah, it's so early
not.
noughties. A bit
Which
naff now,
actually
but fair
probably
play.
looks. Her clothes are probably bang on for right now.
Yeah, weirdly.
It's all back in, isn't it? All that
Yeah.
jazz.
Can't stop banging on about that.
What did you give? Oh, yeah. All right, I'd go 8. You'd go 7. Nice.
Yeah.
Starting line. If you
Solid
haven't heard that
album, I'm
album,
surprised.
you probably if you like pop punk, happy-go-lucky pop punk, great album.
It is fun.
Yeah. What did I listen to? Oh my god. That's the best reaction.
It's horrible, isn't it? I gave you Chat Pile, their debut album, God's Country, because I hate you.
Was it called God's Country Because I Hate You? Or
No, it could be, couldn't it? God's Country.
It could be. Do you know what?
Let me get
I was so confused at the beginning, just like a note that I made. The first 10 seconds, it's got really like reverby drums, and it does these big tom things, like kind of thing. And I was like, oh, is this going to be kind of 80s-y? Like, it sounded like In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Yeah,
The
it does,
first, no
doesn't
one's
it?
ever compared Chat
Yeah.
Pile to Phil Collins, but like the drums are really distorted, like big drums, and it sounds like I just could see the gorilla playing it. But like
Yeah, you're right though.
it's got that, and I was like, and then it went into. It sounds like a horror film. The album
Yeah,
is a horror film. That's the
it
best way I
really
can
is.
describe the album. It is. I made a note and I said it is not an album. It is a piece of art because that,
Yeah,
like, and there's a bit of a difference. Like this felt like a painting. I don't know how to even. Like communicate this properly unless you just go and you've got to go and listen to this because you're not gonna. I don't think you'll. I've never heard anything like it. Not like
it's
as an
incredible,
album.
isn't it?
Like it's got elements, and this is meant in a nice way of like the theatrics of like a Slipknot. You know, where it feels like a horror film. Like it feels like it's meant to be. Like it sounds dirty in
Yeah,
places, and it sounds really like raw. A Slipknot's a bad comparison because they don't sound like that polished or whatever, but it's got that kind of like it's meant to be. It sounds sinister. It's probably
yeah.
like the best way of describing on it.
It's like
Um,
it's genuinely quite scary, isn't it?
yeah,
Which is
it's
what I love.
dark. It's
Yeah.
really dark. It's not metal. I think it is metal,
No.
but I don't think it is metal. I wrote down it's like a horror film in musical form. There
Yeah.
you go.
100%.
It is though, isn't it?
Yeah, it
It's a
feels
very hard.
dangerous.
It does. It sounds dangerous. It's a very hard listen.
It really
Very
is.
hard listen.
Dear Lord.
But I enjoyed it. Each song is very unique as well. Like there's some bits that are a bit spoken wordy, a bit rambly. Um, yeah, the lyrics feel like something you'd see from like I don't know, one of them Instagram like crime scene photos you wish you'd never thought you'd seen, and it was like scrawled in shit on the wall, like a murder scene. Do you know what I mean? Like of
Yeah.
like bloke kills, don't know, family or whatever. Like it felt like one of those things. Like it is dark. There was some mental lyrics in there.
Yeah.
I've got a couple that one that's completely just not actually well. Dust in my eyes for the rest of my life was something that
It's
was
so
just
good.
like so dark, but also it really reminds me of something I haven't told you actually. My daughter says when when you get sleep in your eyes.
Yeah.
She's 2 for reference for anyone listening. And you wake up with sleep in your eyes or whatever you want to call it, like crusty eyes. The only point of reference she had in life for like what that could be was it was kind of like toast. So she woke up one morning and she said, "Dad, I've got toast in my eyes," because it's kind of like this crunchy like thing in the corner of her eyes. So now we
All
say,
makes
"Oh, have
sense.
you got toast in your eyes?" It kind of like the logic made sense. The only thing she could compare it to that she'd felt that was similar was toast. But yeah,
Yeah.
dust in my eyes for the rest of my life. Again, sounds like something scrawled on the wall, or that my daughter would say. Um, it's got a bit of Nine Inch Nails about it. Was one thing that I felt like that
Yeah. Because it is quite hard
industrial
to pin
sound.
down, isn't there? But I think there's a lot of that. Like the
Mm,
all those 90s bands who like weren't I don't know, they felt a bit pissed off about grunge, maybe.
mm,
Like Godflesh and Jesus
yeah,
Lizard and like stuff I didn't really listen to because it was a bit scary back in the day. But yeah, Nine
yeah.
Inch Nails and all that.
I feel like if you saw them live, one of them would be bleeding.
Yeah,
Do you know? No, do
at
you know what I
all
mean? Like
times.
at all times, one of them will be bleeding. I don't mean in like an Andrew WK kind of way. I mean in like a like I don't know.
Just actually.
Yeah, just yeah. It felt very physical, and it was a hard listen. It's heavier than Nine Inch Nails, though. It's heavy in a. Well, it's just deep. Like it's just yeah. Like I said, it's the best way to describe it. I said it felt like a bit of art, less
Yeah.
so but it's still an album, but like less so a music-y thing. It felt like
Yeah, definitely,
felt like
man.
I'd recommend this to someone that's into horror films and not someone that's into band. That's a mental
Yeah.
thing to say about a band, but which is impressive actually. Like
Yeah,
it definitely
definitely.
caught me off guard.
Yeah, I love that. I think a lot of what I listen to is like, just people making music because they like making music and it's all probably fairly
Mm,
easy listening in a way. And then stuff
Yeah.
like this just disarms me sometimes and just feels like, oh, they needed to do this. I don't know what's going on in their life, but this feels like genuinely dangerous, genuinely scared me
They
a bit.
needed this to make the voices stop. That's what it
Yeah,
feels like. Like
exactly.
it honestly does though. Like some of the have you like had it open on Spotify when you've been listening to it?
Oh
Some of the
yeah,
little like animated things of like dolls with like in the road with
it's
like
horrible, isn't it?
blood on and stuff. Like it's again like a horror film is the best way of
I
describing it.
know, man.
But
They had a bit
Rob
on them in the
Zombie, like
Guardian. Sorry, I was going to send
no,
you it, but there was
go
a
on.
bit on them in the Guardian recently.
Hmm.
But I didn't want to cloud your judgment. But they seem lovely.
Did
I'll
get
be
it?
honest.
Oh,
It's
did the
quite a
Guardian
sweet
get it?
story. What's
Oh,
that?
okay. Did the Guardian get it?
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
Guardian really liked them. Fair
oh,
play. But
good.
yeah, they
Oh,
just
fair.
seem like really sweet lads. But they're like a bit older. It's quite a cool story. They're a bit confused about why people have like latched onto it because they were just some sort of older dudes. When I say older, probably like my age,
Hmm.
which is pretty old to be starting a band.
Starting, yeah.
Yeah, who just like wrote some songs, and yeah, I don't think they understand why because they're sort of cool, like Pitchfork
Hmm.
love them, and I don't think they get it particularly, as in the band don't get why.
Yeah,
But they seem
they
really
don't
cool
tune it.
guys. Like they just grew up in a shit part of America and have written some songs about it, and it comes
Mm.
across like how bleak it is.
Yeah, it is bleak. Bleak's
Like
a
why,
good,
especially.
great
I think
word.
that's the first song I heard, and the lyrics to that. I think it's one of those where it can go either way. Like I think when you're being that literal about something, it can sound quite funny. But I found
Yeah.
why so like moving. It's ridiculous.
Mm.
Like it's all just about homelessness in America, and it's just
Yeah.
so literal. Like the lyrics.
Oh, it
I
is.
mean, yeah, he screams, "I've never had ringworm. Have you?" At one point, and it's
Which
ridiculous.
again, when you say it there, but
Yeah, it
in the
does sound
thing
silly.
sounds fucking desperate when he says it in the
Oh my
album.
God, yeah, when he shouts, I listen to
Mm.
that song all the time. It gives me goosebumps every time, man. It's really
Mm.
affecting and like important, I think. And the end is it's got one of
Oh,
the muckiest riffs I've ever heard at the end.
yeah, it has.
Because there
There's
is
some good
riffs
like
on this.
musically, it's great. Yeah, it's that I've just thought of something. You know, I said it's like a horror film. It's
Mm.
not like a horror film. Have you seen the film The Road with Viggo
Oh
Mortensen
yeah,
or whatever
it
his
is
name
the
is?
road, isn't it?
It's The Road in musical form, which is
Yeah,
never watch that if you've had like a really bad week because that is the bleakest film
so
ever.
bleak.
The Road, and this sounds as bleak, but
Yeah,
equally, I really enjoyed The Road. Like enjoyed, it's a strong word. Like it was good, and
yeah.
and I enjoy. Got a lot of time for it, and I've got a lot of time for this. To be fair, like I put it on and I thought, what the fuck has Ben again? Usually, as I do, what the fuck has Ben given me
It
now?
was a risk.
It was a risk, but I think it was a well played risk. It was I
Incredible, right?
enjoyed it. I did
The
enjoy it. It is just a great piece, a body of work.
Yeah, exactly. I think the new one's well worth. I appreciate more chat power might not be what people want, but the new album came out a couple of weeks ago, and it's great, man. Like possibly an easier listen, but I mean that's
Oh,
relative, isn't it? Because
oh, boring.
yeah, yeah, it is not easy listening. It is a slightly easier listen than this.
Oh, okay, all right.
But not that they've lost anything. It's just it's weird in that interview they were talking about how much their guitarist loves Corn, and as soon as he said it, I was like, oh yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah,
And I
it's
sort of
got that
hadn't.
industrial that corn like early corn as well. It's got that like industrial, less of the new metal in it. Is a bit
Yeah,
more a bit more Nine Inch Nailsy kind
yeah,
of
exactly.
styly.
Which yeah, they became a bit of a laughing stock, didn't they? Maybe in our circles. But the
Yeah,
first two Corn albums, again, like the first one is terrifying and great.
quite good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really exciting. So yeah, I sort of got that when I heard that. And the new one, yeah, is a bit more like bouncy, riffy, but yeah, definitely worth a
Oh,
listen.
okay.
Oh, I'm glad
All
you
right,
liked
I'll
it
skip that. Oh, I did like it. I, I'll be
in a
honest.
way.
I don't think I'll ever listen to it again, though.
That's totally fair.
I think it's so challenging.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't feel like I can listen to their new album yet.
No,
Like
that is fair.
it feels like one of those when someone tells someone to watch one of them horror films, it's meant to be like it's the worst film ever made. Like you're lucky if you ever watch it. Like and get all the way through. That's what this felt
Yeah.
like as an album. So I think I immediately I know starting line was the album that I'd given you, but I immediately was like, I need something to cleanse me after that, and went
Yeah.
straight into Up and Go, which again is such a clash because I was like, it needs to bring me out of the depths of despair.
I feel like it must sound genuinely insane after listening to Chat Pile, then listening to Up and Go by the starting line. Must be like, this is
if anyone
mad.
listens, I'd suggest you do it in that order. You go Chat Pile, then starting line. If you go starting line, then Chat Pile, I think you're fucked.
It's like eating dirt and then having a muffin.
A dirt muffin.
Dirt muffin.
He sounds like a porn star from the 80s.
Speaking of which... No, sorry.
Go on.
This actually is linked. Have you seen what their names are? The band members.
What? The Chat Pile Boys? No, go on.
Yeah. They're incredible. The singer's called Ray Gun Bush.
I hope that's real.
On guitar, you got Luther Manhole.
No,
Stin
these aren't real names.
Just Stin.
Stin.
And Cap'n Ron on drums.
These are made up.
They've got comedy names as well. I love them so much.
This is like Steel Panther.
Yeah.
With their names, which are amazing. Satchel.
They're so cool, man. Oh, I love it.
It was good. I really enjoyed it. The song going on to our classic and song names, there were quite some metally generic ones of like Why, Anywhere, Wicked. Oh no, then random ones. Sorry, Wicked Puppet Dance.
Yeah.
Grimace _smoking _weed .jpeg.
That's
which I loved. I've got time for that. That was probably my favourite song actually as well, and that was probably the hardest listen. That was like one of the longer tracks on it.
Really good.
But really good song. So yeah, no, I think it was. I think it was good. I think they had good song titles, a good balance of like not funny, but just like a bit out there. They remind me of like a bit Deftonesy, like kind of a bit weird and random, like I don't know, not even play on words, just random little. Again, random scribblings of a madman.
Yeah.
Should be the name of the band. And the album cover is just like a power station or something. I don't know what it is.
Do you know what? I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I think it suits it. I feel like it maybe should have been more bleak.
Yeah.
That looks like an all right power station. I think it needed to be more like
power station,
like an Eastern European power station or something like. It's not grey enough. Like it needed to be bleak as, and I don't think it's quite bleak enough. And then the album name is in like Arial font.
Yeah,
but the actual band title is in the classic Bloodstock poster and every band name.
Love that they've gone for the
scrumpled up newspaper. Written in big chunky font.
Yeah, it's like bundle of sticks, isn't it? I don't know if they call it that. Yeah. They should. The bundle of sticks font.
Yeah,
but I love that.
We need to find out what the name of that metal font is. If I just say generic death metal band font, everyone knows what that means. I'm
the one you can't read, basically.
The one you can't read, so no one knows what any of the bands are called. And you're like, who's headlining Bloodfest or whatever they're usually called, like those things. There is one called Blood. Is it Bloodstock, isn't it? Yeah.
Bloodstock, yeah. I'm sure there's a Bloodfest.
Yeah, all of the bands playing there have that logo pretty much. But yeah, then in Arial or like sans serif underneath, it just says the album title. So it is a bit clashy.
I didn't think of that.
Album cover was solid.
I love it.
I'm going to give it... What do you give it out of 10, first of all, actually?
I'd give it an... Ooh, could I go 9?
Ooh.
It's definitely high. I love this album. I think I'll go 8. Because of how upsetting it is. But I love it.
It's mad, isn't it? Because it's so dark, you can't score it high for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, too high.
But I do think it is phenomenal.
I found it so interesting. I give it a 7 because, like I said, I don't think I'd ever listen to it again, but I really appreciated it. Like, I thought it was impressive.
Love that.
But equally unnerving. And I'll never listen to it again.
I think it's high praise already, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I will never listen to it again. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
That's it. That'll be is that what the Guardian said as well?
Yeah, basically. It's absolutely amazing. 1 star.
Didn't realise we were going to be in proper journalism. On journalism and reactions, I did a quick little reaction one that I put out on socials and stuff like that. But 2000 Trees announcement, Ben. You got it up in front of you?
So
What are you saying?
I think initially
Mm,
I thought, oh, that's good. And then the more I looked at it, the more I thought, do you know what? When it's just like, actually, it's not necessarily for me. And it's not meant to be for me. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just
fair.
like, oh, actually, in terms of what
Fair.
I'd want to,
It's not meant to be for
like
you.
the Thursday, I like Kneecap. I thought Kneecap was bold as a headliner.
Ben, I read kneecap
Yeah.
and out loud I went, "Who the fuck a kneecap?" I
Oh, see, I
so
really like Kneecap.
oh okay, I've not heard them, but not that means anything. But
But
like
they're like,
that was my
yeah,
initial reaction.
this might be just our age showing. I don't know. I really like them.
Maybe.
I didn't know they were that big. They've had a film out recently, which was quite big. So I guess that makes
Okay,
sense.
I will listen
Um,
to them. Yeah.
they're cool, man. I mean, they're like an Irish language hip hop band, which is why I was confused.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I don't understand. But then I
They like
guess,
doing that.
yeah, Trees was never meant to be the emo hardcore festival. I
Mm.
don't think.
I
I
mean,
think
it
they've sort of.
is.
Do you
It is
think?
now.
Yeah, I mean, it is
I feel
now.
like it
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
I think they
yeah. I
sort of
feel
went
like
that way, but I don't know if it was ever their target necessarily. And then
yeah. I feel
Paris, I
like
don't know. I obviously know the name, but they're one I've just missed
yeah. I feel like
completely.
I
Or previous.
personally feel like they were like one of them ones that were like fine band, like okay, but like I never
Yeah.
got the hype, like kind of thing. And that's not my snobby starting line 10, 20 years ago thing. That's just I never really thought it. I thought it was fine. Like I just
No,
didn't
that's
really
fair.
get the
That's definitely
hype.
just my age
Do
again.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've missed them. I don't.
Mm,
I've
mm.
got no opinion. Then obviously TBS and Coed, that's big.
Coheed, I was buzzing that Coheed are playing. I've only seen them once, and they've got their original drummer back as well now.
Oh, sweet.
Um, so I'm excited for that. But Taking Back
Yeah.
Sunday, I know we touched on When We Were Young earlier, and we're gonna next podcast we're gonna properly talk about When We Were Young. But they were fucking shocking in the videos I saw
Oh,
from When We Were Young, like bad.
mate.
We'll
One of
talk
the
about it
comments
again.
under
And
this, sorry, under
go
this
on, go
announcement
on.
really made me laugh because it was just like, if Taking Back Sunday do their one good gig a year, it will be really good. I was like, oh, I don't think I even knew that
It's
they
so
were
true. It's so true.
really.
I've seen them five times. Three times they've been like awful, bad, like
Yeah.
barely listenable, and I came away like, what the fuck did I just spend 30 quid on? And then twice they were amazing. So it
That's so
really
weird.
depends on they either phone it in or everyone turns up and it's amazing. And it seems like that's really commonly known. Like everyone
Yeah.
just seems to know that. They're either shockingly bad or really good. And there's no
Yeah.
like, oh, 7 out of 10. Yeah, they were solid. They were tight, like kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Coheed could turn up and do a
Oh, mate.
good job and do a
Yeah.
7 out of 10. And everyone would be like, oh, Coheed were good. But Taking Back Sunday can't do that. They can't just
It's
do
so weird,
a
isn't it?
normal gig by the sounds of things. Yeah,
I don't know
weird.
where that
Very
comes
weird.
from as a band. Like, it's bizarre.
Mm, yeah.
But so, yeah, so that is like, it's one of those things where my initial reaction was excitement. And then I was like, oh, actually, I mean, I don't actually listen to those bands. I love them both from back in the day,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've not really kept up with them. I don't really listen to their old stuff anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
They're still great, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alexis, we've been over on this. I never really,
We won't
I didn't even
we
get.
won't
I
get
just
in.
never really listened to.
We
So
won't get into
actually,
how
my
wrong you
initial
are on that.
excitement was tempered a bit.
Yeah, no. I was buzzing on Alexis because I haven't seen
Yeah,
them for a bit. So I was like, Alexis, I always just am like with festivals, I'm like, if there's more than 5 bands that I would have paid to see and I can make a weekend of it,
yeah.
then I should go. So Alexis, Coheed, and I've got to pray to whoever the legend was that commented that on the 2000 Trees post. If Taking Back Sunday turn up, then great. And also, I'd never heard them before, but one of like Christian, one of our mates who I went to Trees with last year, was like, "Oh, Kid Kapachi are really good." Don't know if that's even how you say the name, but they were actually really good when I saw them live. I've never heard them. I haven't
Okay.
listened to them since. Probably should listen to them.
Yeah,
And I quite like Lad Dispute as well. Lad
I like
Dispute. I
that
don't know if you meant
dispute.
to say it in that way or what, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're quite good. And then the rest of it, I was like, I can't really see anyone that I. There's a band called Clobber Pain, which
I
I've
want to
got
see
time
them.
for them already. I
Yeah, I mean,
already want
most
to
of it
see
is
them.
my ignorance, so I'm not going to say if it's good or bad. I just don't know who most of it is. But then
You've
Million
probably got
Dead's,
haven't.
that's the biggie
I've
for
never
me,
listened to
man.
Million Dead. Oh
I
really?
was a
I've never
massive
listened to
Million
Million
Dead
Dead.
boy.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, loved them. Well, I still do. Yeah, I'd say they're a band I do still listen to. I love Million Dead,
Oh, okay. Nice.
and that is
All
their
right.
reunion.
Nice. What I was going to tell you about, I mentioned Camden earlier. Speaking of, you mentioned Alexis on Fire and finding it fairly whelming and not not under or over. Can you just be whelmed? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, whelmed. I saw Angel Dust, who I have reviewed on here.
Oh yeah,
Reviewed, given my awful critique on. Don't take my words as anything factual. Just mine and Ben's fairly average opinions on things. I saw Angel Dust support Story So Far on Saturday night in Camden after a lovely beer in the
amazing.
Underworld and one in next door in the old World's End. Got to be done
Yeah,
when you're in Camden, isn't it? Really quick pint in each before the gig. Story So Far were, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. They were so
really.
good. They were so good live. They played quite a lot of the new album, which
Yeah,
I thought the new album was quite good. Like live, it was really good. Like it mixed in really well with their old stuff. And they play loads of old bangers. So yeah, I was loads of old bangers makes it sound like a load of shit.
yeah,
Not like loads of old shit cars. Yeah, but they play loads of old, really good songs. So yeah, no, they were fucking on form. I put a few stories up on the old IG under the gigs thing if anyone wants to have a look under highlights. And then Angel Dust supported, and they were the same as the album. I was really
oh
hoping they were
really.
going to be a bit more like. I was going to be like, oh fuck, they're really good live. Like they weren't bad live. Like
Yeah,
me and like my other half were just like, yeah, they were good. Like fine. Like
oh,
I
that's
didn't think they were
interesting.
shit. I didn't think they were great. I was just like
Yeah,
same reaction as the album. It is a bit heavier live than the album. I'll give them that. There's a
yeah. I was going to say I've not
bit more
seen them. I
bollocks
don't
about it.
think so. I wasn't sure if they would like
That's the
temper
second time
their
I've seen them. To be
gigs.
fair,
Oh, yeah, no, I've not. Amazing.
for not really not being that
You
fussed.
know, I love
They were
them.
playing at Trees, and it was the week after you'd recommended them to me. So I was like, I'll go and watch them. I know a couple of songs.
Yeah,
But yeah, they were fine. Oh, I hate
yeah.
saying that. I feel bad.
No, that's fair. Like,
Do you
yeah.
say
Well,
one
it's
of them's from Turnstile
no. I think
or
originally
some?
one of them
Oh,
was,
okay.
and I don't think there is now. The singer's in Trapped Under Ice. They're
Uh,
a superb hardcore band. I
yes.
think yeah. There's various members from various places. I think.
Oh, okay. So they are a bit like been around kind of thing.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
lads.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Not super group, but you know what I mean.
yeah. So it's an odd one. I wasn't sure if they would temper their sets for like who they're playing with because they've got more hardcore
Mhm.
stuff and more like shoegazy stuff. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
You know, they played
yeah. I've
this sort
not
of
seen
straight
them.
up punk stuff.
Yeah,
Quite punky, yeah. Which stories so far are not. They're a bit like emo-y pop punk. So like it
yeah,
was like it kind of was a bit of a clash, but stories so far are well into their kind of. This feels like the kind of a bit of a grungy kind of weird splash of new metal revival kind of thing happening at the moment. So yeah, I think it was kind of tapping into that a little bit. But yeah,
yeah.
stories so far were fucking amazing, really good, so good live. Um, I'm gonna recommend another Story So Far album to you. Not today, but
Thank God.
I need to get you into them properly because I feel like
I
we
can't
just
remember
we
last time.
just we just we just missed it. I think last time. On recommendations,
Oh yeah,
you got one for me because I
I
got one line I got
I
one lined
have.
up
I
for you.
wanted to give you some emo,
Oh yes, please.
some of like my emo from back in the
Oh
day.
back in the day emo, yeah, please go on.
And I've thought of there was a British band who I loved and are so small. Like on Spotify, it's hilarious. I think they only put their albums up a couple of years ago, so it's like hundreds of listens. But they were called the
Oh,
Coffee Pot
lovely.
Journals, and I don't know if you ever listened to them.
You've told again the reason we do this podcast. You've told me to listen to them before, and I never have. So there you go.
Yes, so now you have to. But I loved it,
Copper
man. I'll be
Pot
intrigued to see if it
Journals.
was like, of its time. I still listen to it loads and I love it, but you just don't know if it's like nostalgia listens, do you? So I'll be
Yeah,
fascinated to know.
exactly.
But
Whether it
yeah,
was
their first
of the time.
album, Plotting to Kill Your
What's the first
Friends,
album? Plotting to Kill Your Friends.
I think, um,
Love you.
is
That's
an
great.
absolute classic for me, son.
Okay, I'm all over that.
What you
I've
got for
got
me?
two. I've got a backup one in
Oh yeah.
case you have actually heard this other one. Um, the first one I've got for you is Alkaline Trio.
It's a shout. It is a shout.
Have you listened to much?
No, do you know what? I only know the singles, and even them I don't know very
Right.
well.
You're gonna go. I'm gonna go with their.
Okay.
It's a hard one for them because I've got two favourite albums of theirs. But I'm gonna go with the one that's probably considered by Alkaline Trio fans. Well, that and the album before is like the go-to. But it's
Yeah.
From Here to Infirmary,
I've heard of it. This is a good one
which is a
because
very Alkaline Trio album. I mean, all
loads
their
of my
album
close
titles are
friends
quite
love
coffee.
them, and I don't know how I missed them really. Just never.
First band I ever saw live.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, yeah.
lovely.
Well, unless you count my mum taking me to see Shaggy when I was 12.
I do.
Okay, Alkaline Trio, the second band I've ever seen live.
Thank you very much, Elia.
How different a podcast this would have been if I'd have
Yeah.
stayed on that journey.